You live?
I am live.
Okay. Okay. Let's stop talking about all our secrets. You know
I
that
got a
one secret?
little mood music on here. Little Third Eye Blind.
I don't know what that is.
I wanted to do Crimson and Clover, but David said no 50s music. What the fuck?
I don't even know what that is.
Now this song I'd recommend over a nice cool beverage, perhaps a mint julep. No. This is a summer Caesar type song. You know what I mean?
Just a glass of water with ice cubes.
I'll take cubed water, please, on the rocks.
All
right,
that's a good line. I'm gonna say that next time in the restaurant.
Take a water, please, on the rocks. Water with extra water, but some of it with a phase shift. And I want steam on top. Okay, so
to a whole new level.
Intimate ZVX with Stoic, episode 15, game 3.
He's Stoic Nouveau.
He is Stoic Regret.
Ooh, you changed it up there.
That was huge! We've just revolutionized casting.
We revolutionized ZVX.
You introduce your co-caster. That's genius. That's brilliant.
It is
All right.
genius.
This game is David versus EffOrt. I know who EffOrt is. I feel like everyone else does as well.
Except for me.
David
apparently.
doesn't know who people are, though. I mean, he doesn't know who anyone is. He played X6 Sleep the first time, and he's like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's top 10 GM. I was like, you serious? It's fucking amazing. All right.
You know how many X6 names there are out there? Can't follow them all.
Yeah, but Sleep is fucking top 10 GM. Yo.
Well, now I know.
So ZvT, EffOrt, Tal'Darim Altar. Now I believe you play this Stefano style, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I open.
Which is pretty much all you do because we're all Stefano fanboys.
I'm pretty bad with this opening, so I try not to do this. But I like doing this on Tal'Darim because his opening allows you to take a third base in really weird locations, even on maps like this when it's difficult to take a third base.
Right?
Yeah, so I do try that opening. It's quite nice. It's basically fake aggression.
I tell you one
thing. It gives you a little bit of map control.
When he lost to Marine King yesterday, I shed a single tear.
Just one? I'm pretty sure I shed more than one. But actually, I didn't shed any tears. My bad, because Nesty went 6-0, 6-1. So I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that was pretty boss.
Because Nesty is Nesty, you know.
Okay, well, I'm in the game. I'm at our patented 41-second time.
Okay.
Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, play.
Alright, so this game I decided to go up to 10 food and then build my overlord. I said that weird.
You did that on
10
you
food.
did that by accident. I know you
Yeah,
did.
I did. I was just going to say that. I do it by accident, so whenever this happens, guys, just do the extractor trick.
You build your extractor at 60 supply.
Yep.
See? There you go. Like clockwork. Boom. Cancel. No fuss, no muss.
Or you could just do what July Zerg does and go up to 150 and just make 3 workers. But that's actually terrible because you have 3 larvae sitting there, so your larva time actually gets delayed the whole game by like 5 seconds. So don't do that.
What does he do?
He waits, he doesn't do the extractor trick. He builds his overlord at 10 and then just builds 3 builds. But I don't know. It's July Zerg, so I'm never going to criticize what he does. But just don't do it. It's bad.
What do you think of making 2 overlords to compensate for your lack of overlords?
I think I've tried that once. I ended up leaving the game.
Is that pretty much the worst thing you've ever heard in the history of strategies?
It's the worst thing I've ever heard in the history of history.
You're 16 hatching.
Does history of history, does that make sense? Like, literally?
A History of History. Starring Victoria Beckham.
Why?
And
Why?
And Michael Jackson's son. That'd be a documentary I'd watch.
Alright, so when doing the Stefano opening, the rule of thumb is to be as greedy as possible.
You were
so
fucking just greedy there. That was a 17.
Gonna be doing a 17 pool and a 17 extractor, should be. Or maybe I'm not doing the Stefano build, I don't know. Where's my extractor? Alright guys, let's take back everything I said. I am not doing the Stefano opening in this game.
He's been scouted as CC first, so...
My god. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So I don't do the Stefano opening this game.
That's a gas right away, right?
But this is good because I understand this build more. This is my unique build. This is what I do. No one ever copy it, ever. Unless you watch this video, then you can copy it.
Especially
Doesn't make
you,
any
Sarah.
sense.
I know you're watching.
I just told everybody who's watching this not to copy it unless they've watched this. Interesting.
Yeah, that won't make
Logic
sense.
at its best. That doesn't make sense. 'Cause
Unless
everybody
someone
who's
were
watching
to
this
watch
is-
it, tell someone, and then that person copies it without watching.
So I should be telling them not to tell someone who didn't watch the VODs to copy the build.
Tell your friends to watch the VODs is the bottom line.
hmm
Okay, so double queen, standard.
Or you could tell them that there's a build on the VODs that they can't do if they don't watch it. That will entice them. That's called thinking outside the box, guys.
Alright.
I'm really good at thinking outside the box. Okay, so what I do here is I get 4 queens. Obviously, I have no gas. And because he's doing CC first, this is how I like to play if you've been following us in ZvTs. Whenever I think I can get away with another expansion, I go for another expansion. So CC first basically means there's only one thing that he can do that can threaten this expansion that's built at such a very far location. And that one thing is Banshees. So as long as he doesn't go Banshees, you just have to directly counter what he throws at you. So if he decides to open Hellions, you want to get roaches out in small numbers to be defensive before you start building your huge round of speedlings so that he can't harass your workers. And if he's not building any of those factory units, you want to get a lot of Zergling and Banelings in order to kill the bio.
You triple gassed at 43 supplies. That's different than your normal 45.
No, I do about 41 to 43. That's usually what I do.
Doesn't really matter.
45 is a little bit too greedy.
Yeah.
That's borderline greedy.
And
So
the
as you
roach
can
warren
see-
here is just for
Yeah, as you can see, the most common opening from this is to go into reactor Hellions. So I put down this Roach Warren so that when I sense reactor Hellions are coming, I can use my first gas deposit in order to invest in roaches. And if I don't see them super early, then I can just invest it into speed like normal. So my hatch is about to finish. As you can see, I built one queen here. It's going to be primarily used just for creep spreading. And as you can see, remember how I said 4 queens? That would be my normal build on 2 bases, but in order to compensate for the extra 300 minerals that I spent in order to build the 3rd base, I just built 3 queens. So always make sure you do that with your builds. I can't stress that enough. You watch the pro players change their builds over the months of play. You know, every player is so stylistic. They're all so unique. And so whenever they create builds, they just use their builds that complements their playstyle and already works, and they just kind of tweak it. So, you know, if the metagame is shifting and you got to build a little more roaches, then change your gas timings, change your queen timings, but, you know, have the same staple build. So, you know, I always want to build a lot of queens if I normally build 4, but now I want to mix it up and put down an extra hatch. I'll just build 3. But the consistency is still there. I'm still, you know, using queens in order to spread my creep. So this is excellent for me. I did build a bunch of roaches here. It's going to be used to apply a little bit of fake pressure.
Banshees would be here by now if he was going for them, by the way.
Oh, but it's fine with Banshees now. As you can see, I already have an Evo Chamber, and I have enough queens to deal with them.
Yeah.
And Banshees actually wouldn't actually be here by now if it was a CC first opening with Cloak. It'd actually
With
come
Cloak,
at
yeah.
around the 9th mark. So I'm actually very safe against that. And I'm about to scout whether he has it or not. So as you can see, doing nothing but double upgrading and droning behind this, and just fake pressure in order to scout. So I see a bunker. I don't see bio behind it, so I know that he probably opened very quickly into factory. Probably took those 2 gases super fast. And luckily for me, we can see on the production tab, he's not overreacting to this, but this is giving me a full scout of what his plan initially was to do. And his plan was to push me with a Marauder Hellion timing.
Do you have a Bailey nest down?
I actually don't need it. There's actually 2 ways that I used to think that in order to fend this off, Banelings on hitting the Marauders was the key, because basically when the Marauders, on the Hellions was the key, because when the Hellions die from Banelings, Marauders are horrible against Speedlings, but
Yeah.
it turns out large number of roaches actually beats this,
Pause
which
at
is
10
kind of
minutes.
weird.
Pause at 10 minutes.
Okay, which is kind of weird because normally the whole point of this strategy is because Marauders are really good against roaches, but if you have a huge buffer number of roaches, it actually fends off against it pretty well. So as you can see, it's a very dangerous push. I do have to wait for these 20 links to pop. I'm probably going to take some losses here, but I did open this game up with an extremely greedy build, so if I do take economic loss here, I don't think I will be behind. The game will simply just even out. So,
Now
okay,
that-
we can go whenever.
So that Baneling Nest is just kind of a late tech that you need.
Yeah, it's way
You'll
too
need it
late.
at some point.
As you can see, No, I definitely should have put it down earlier. I have 721 gas. There's no excuse for that.
Okay.
I just got way too greedy. Was gonna tech straight into, I guess, infestors or something, or invest the gas into upgrades, but definitely too greedy.
But now that he's attacked, you're gonna lose some shit because of that.
Yeah, I can't use Banelings to defend this off. I have no choice, but oh well.
Okay.
Okay, we can go.
Well, let me get back on your view. 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, so whenever you're in situations like this, you have to be patient. The last thing you want to do is to force a situation that isn't gonna work to work. Like, I could have pulled all my drones there, maybe save that macro hatch, but what's the point? So I lost the macro hatch. I'm gonna lose a ton of units here, but you know, me waiting for those lings means I can clean it up, so I'm in an okay position to transition into whatever I wanted to transition. So normally when you open double upgrades like this, it makes most sense to go into Infestor Tech instead of, did I build a Hydra then? That's a mistake.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
No. I should notice that.
Nobody goes Hydras in this matchup.
I'm pretty sure I should notice that, and if I don't, oh boy.
Wait, do Hydras wreck Marauders? I feel like they would kill Marauders.
Yeah, but all they have to do is build a cheaper unit from the same building, and your Marines... Oh my god, I'm gonna let it finish? No!
You should be,
Ruining our VODs, god damn it.
you should be embarrassed.
Oh wait, I clicked on it. I clicked on it. I clicked on it. You're kidding me, right?
Nope, there it goes. Now, it'll be hilarious if you actually build Hydras.
I shouldn't. That would be a little ridiculous. That would be really trollish. Do I actually do that? Oh no, I noticed. Okay.
Manor Hydras.
Derp derp. Okay, so at this point, I just want to make sure that I get a lot of gas. My infestors are going to be extremely late. This might affect the game a little because after holding off a push like that, if my infestation pit timing was normal, then I'd have infestors for the next push, which makes it very cost efficient. But I think what I do in this case, because usually when you open this build, especially when you get a third base down so quickly, you're able to go straight to Hive really early, around the 13-14 minute mark. So, okay, this is a good lesson. So, you know, making decisions when you make mistakes like this. So as you can see, the army I have is not great, but because I know I made a mistake, I have to make something happen. So I'm going to go try to get a cancel here. I managed again to lift off. Just do something with my army, because what I wanted to do there, like as you can see now, I'm getting my Hive. What I wanted to do was just sit on Infestor Tech. There's no way he'd be able to push into me, and then just go straight to Hive and then build my Ultralisks or Broodlords or whatever. But because I made that mistake, the timings are all messed up. So instead of waiting around doing nothing because of a mistake, I simply just took my units, built a little bit more low-tech units, and tried to make something happen. So probably not the best outcome, but I managed to scare him. Now he's kind of wondering what on earth was that. Is he going to follow up with more attacking? You know, why did he just have low-tech units there? Able to cancel the Orbital being created to lift it off. Just as long as you're doing something, there's always a scenario where something good might happen. You know, I might have gotten lucky in that case. His command center might have actually already been mining, and I might have gotten some SCV kills or something. But as is, don't make the mistake in the first place. Obviously, having a later tech was not as good. So it looks like this game I have decided to go double Spire.
You're a little late on them.
I think the reason why I do this is because he already showed me his transition of Marauder tech at the beginning of the game. Him going into bio with tanks and mixing in Marauders would make Ultralisks not as strong as they should be if it's just a Marine tank. So I think in that case, if he is going to build some Marauders in the mix of his army, going Broodlords is definitely better. Because if he builds 5 of them, they become absolutely useless. And Marauders cost gas too, so it means he's going to have less Ghosts or less Vikings, which is also extremely good when you're going Broodlords. So at this point, I just want to saturate all my bases. Taking the gases is the priority. As you can see, I'm going to be gas-starved eventually.
Yeah, as soon as you start going...
I double Spire. And don't forget to upgrade everything. Ground upgrades, even when you're going Broodlords, is very important because remaxing on Lings will save you from a lot of attacks. You also need Lings to fend off against drops and Lings to counterattack with. And if this goes into late game and he's at 3-3 and my lings are not, you'll see that it's just really hard for me to do anything about that. So as you can see, he has a gigantic army. I'm able to snipe a few tanks here, more than a few tanks actually, which is great for me. But
Got all the tanks.
yeah, an extremely high number of bile means that I can't sit here and build corruptors yet. I'm gonna have to build some zerglings so that I don't die. But the good part is, because he lost all those tanks, he's gonna have to kind of siege in the middle and wait. Because I have so many infested, if he just runs into me right now, I'll be able to fungal him. So what I should be doing here is building a small number of corruptors. Like, I hope I do this. You want to build about maybe 5 or 6 when you're being pressured like this. And what that does is it allows you to kind of sit there and play the position game, because he doesn't really have all day. He can't just wait and sit in front of you with siege tanks, because eventually, even if I have 3 or 4 broodlords made, it makes his siege tanks extremely useless. So
You just checking for tank fire there when you threw those infested Terrans?
yeah, that's also why I built the overseer at the top there. As you can see, I'm using it for vision. So
okay, let's time check again. Actually, I'll stop at 1745. How far ahead was I?
Go to 1750 then.
46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Okay, we're going. So as you can see, I'm doing exactly what I said. I'm building a small number of broodlords, corruptors, so that I can turn them into broodlords, because I know that he's going to be sitting outside of my base. So
if you try to go for a whole bunch here, what would happen?
I wouldn't have enough ground army, and he'd just run in and kill me. So as you can see, I just have enough units in order to deal with this. I'm going to have to probably sack this base, but that's fine. I have one making on the far left. So now I am going to start building my broodlords, and a little bit of a tough situation for me, but as long as I can survive this, I will be okay. So thank God for infestors. As you can see, they're so powerful when he's trying to run into me, which is why bio with tank fire is quite easy if he's just going to be in a stationary position, because the tanks can't really leapfrog forward fast enough with his bio force. So if it's just the bio force coming towards me, fungal makes me have a little bit of a defender's advantage. So now you can see my small number of broodlords were finally morphed and his entire army becomes useless, and I'm able to fend this off. And at this point, I actually do have a pretty strong econ still, because all of those drones were able to be transferred to the far left base. So I actually can use this opportunity to do a small little push into his base, which is really good because I am building corruptors behind this, and I know that his Viking count is still very low. So just using this opportunity to try to make the best of my broodlord count, kind of like a surprise tactic, because he wasn't expecting them to morph like in his face as he was pushing me, or else he would have not pushed me. So I can use this to my advantage. I don't have the high infestor count that I want, but like I said, if I push him right now, his Viking count should be low enough that I should be able to counter the Vikings with just corruptors. So
you should get burrow more often.
Yeah, I should.
Kind of broke. We're not on gas, but on there.
But that's okay. It's better to be starved on minerals than gas when you're going broodlord.
Shouldn't you dump into infestor here? So you only have 4 left.
I should, but I need to build corruptors as well, because infestors alone can't kill off the Vikings if he's microing them, whereas corruptors can. And I have to deal with all these drops, so that's probably why I'm not pushing him right now. I'm trying to stabilize because I know that I have a better army right now. So if I can kind of stabilize and build up that infestor and that corruptor count that I need, then I should be able to win this game. So yeah, these units are in a position where he cannot actually move forward with his entire army. So basically the only thing that's working for him right now are drops.
All he can do is go around.
As you can see, having 3/3 lings at this point make these drops pretty easy to defend against. So man, that's annoying. Those spines are a little bit out of position, but should be fine. So as you can see, my econ is kicking into effect. 1500 gas allows me to drone up here 13 more drones, so I can fully saturate now, kind of even that out. But as I said, being
scary broodlord army too.
Yeah, being starved on gas is the worst. So
there's the 6 infestors. So
yeah. So now I want to saturate my infestor count because I think I have enough Vikings. So he has a lot of Vikings. But the good part is he can't actually. Oh, I think this is a mistake by him. Yeah, he does not want to get fungled like that. That would pretty much end the game for him. So he has to be very careful. And oh, is he gonna get fungled? Yeah, and he gets fungled. So as you can see, this is why you shouldn't attack into infestors unless you're absolutely sure you can take them. Because even though he had way more Vikings than I had Corruptors, if you get fungled, they become exponentially worse. So just a great engagement by me. Managed to clear up not only all the Vikings, but I was able to fungal the bio as well while they were out of range of all of my Broodlords. And now this is just very difficult for him because he's going to have to fend this off by using the units coming out of his production facilities. So if he's not careful, then his Marines will stream in one by one, like you were seeing right here. And even then, my army will continue to be remaxed higher and higher. As you can see, I'm building nothing but Lings now, because I think I have enough Broodlords, and I will be able to try to attack right into his production facilities, which is basically what you want when playing against a Terran, and you clean up their army initially. Because once you're on top of their production facilities, their units become extremely weak. Terran is really bad at defending when they're being attacked on top of their production. So as you can see, just using the range of my Broodlords to kind of push his army back. Bile can kill off Broodlords really quickly if they are under the Broodlords, but as is, they have to get through the fungal growth first, so just really difficult for him to deal with at this point. And because of that huge fungal on the Vikings in the first engagement, he will never be able to have the number of Vikings that he needs in order to fend off this Broodlord attack now. So pretty much this is GG. I just want to keep remaxing. The main thing is on Lings, because Lings will allow me to fend off these drops. But every once in a while, you can refill on those Corruptors just to make sure that you can't be killed by the Viking count.
That's funny. All right, let's get into Game 4. Are we doing a bonus this week?
On the Game 4? Let's just do 4 replays.
We'll do 4 replays and then a bonus game if we...
Yeah, I'll pick it sometime.